sponsor,
Ah.
Manscaped.
Uh-huh.
You know, have you tried the new equipment that's been sent?
I'm afraid because it says weed whacker. I'm scared.
Maven, Manscaped. What are you thinking about
Love it.
Manscaped, dude?
Love it.
What do you use it for?
Necessity. What don't I use it for? Put it this way. The only hair I have on my entire body is these eyebrows.
Yeah.
That you see. These
Wow.
caterpillars racing to the middle of my nose. That's it.
That is it.
That's all I have. And that's all I want.
That's the
So
best.
Manscaped is a
You-
must.
We were talking before the show. There's nothing worse than just hair.
Yeah.
Right? Hair on a woman, hair on a man. It's just bad.
Absolutely. And it's the one thing that the older I get, it starts growing more in unwanted areas.
Absolutely.
I hate it.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
Just going to go out there.
Oh, boy.
Go for it.
You're doing a deed.
Yes.
Again, I don't want you to have to admit this because we, as men, we try not to admit this. But if you're going to
Oh,
go
I
do
know
the deed
where-
on a woman,
I know where
would you
he's
rather
going.
have her be hairless or a little hair, racing stripe, or
Racing stripe.
full retro bush?
Well,
Racing stripe.
Retro Bush is out.
Yes, thank you.
Retro Bush is out.
Yeah.
I don't mind a small, well manicured landing strip. Every now and then, if it's completely, and I'm talking like baby's ass bald, then I start. Where is that pedophilia line? I don't want to
Wow.
wander into that.
That's
thought
very
of it like
interesting.
that.
I never thought about that. You're a
Wow.
smart dude. Holy shit.
So if the landing strip is clean enough for the plane to go in smoothly, you're cool with that.
If the landing strip has, like I said, well manicured,
Yeah,
you can see both sides. It's not
Like blinking lights on both sides of that
I
landing?
just don't. I don't want. I don't want the shrubbery going off into unwanted areas on that as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Oh, look
but-
what you found. Ooh.
I got to be honest though. Hey, the older I get though, I don't think I can be as
I found it! I found
have
it!
you ever gone down there and she slowly brings down the underwear? Then
What is
retro? Just,
Absolutely.
You're like, whoa.
Wow,
Yeah,
like,
I'm
a, like
46,
it
of
pops
course.
out?
Do you like walk out or what do you do?
No, I muster through. I muster up the courage to get
He's
through.
a trooper. He's a trooper. Gotta give him an A.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah,
There you go.
I hear you.
There you
Listen,
go.
I couldn't
Super
say.
Bush.
I couldn't say. Well, if you have the same beliefs as Maven does, Manscaped could help you.
Absolutely.
The weed whacker.
Absolutely.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that I may have to, go in a room, close the door, and hang out with the weed whacker for a little while.
Yeah, I think you're a retro guy, aren't you?
I like 70s adult films, if that's what you're getting at.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
but
only
with that,
Ron
we're going to take a
Jeremy,
quick
Batman.
commercial break and we'll be
Anyway.
back with this wrestling icon, Maven.
We will see you in a drop kick second.
Drop kick.
Yeah.
But again, we're just fans. We know nothing. What was your feeling when you met John Cena? And is it true to the rumors that John would try to hold back people such as yourself because of your look and the possibility of you taking his spot?
I would have never thought that at the time. Because at that time, I just looked like, dude, you're the world champion. You're John Cena. And even when people would say that about Hunter, and I always thought the same thing. I was just like, man, you're Hunter. But you look back at certain instances and you could make a case for that. But still in my mind, it still refers back to man, but you know what I mean? What do you have to worry about? Because you've done so. It's hard to look at some of the guys who've had that much success and think that they should worry about anybody. But at the same time, you're almost being foolish to think that there's not some of that. And if you read between the lines, and now I can look back. It's funny because you get older and you do get smarter, man.
Can you elaborate on an instance where, you're looking back, you go, wait a minute. Yeah, this guy did do this crap to me.
Well, I don't want to create clickbait or anything. I know you want me to.
No.
Specific.
That's not the game we played. I'm just wondering,
But I just, I can know with Cena, for instance. But Cena also had reasons not to like me because I can understand. We were very different. We were oil and water. I mean, he's a Massachusetts guy. I'm a California guy, and also, there were things about my work ethic. I'm sure that he questioned, and probably rightfully so at that point. You know what I mean? Because I've. There are certain points where, I've grown a lot and I can look back at myself sometimes and be like, oh, you know what I mean? There was a lot more you could have been given at certain times that you didn't, unfortunately. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, we just didn't mesh. But I just had a difficult time because I worked with HBK who was my all-time favorite wrestler, and like we worked so great together. And then I would work with Cena around the same time, and it would almost flip-flop. You know, I'd be in tag matches or singles, and it was just such a task with Cena, though. And Cena would try to call me out for it. And I even remember Shawn coming to my defense one time and being like, well, I had no problem with him, which I was like, thank you. But I think also a thing with Cena is I think he's very, very, even if you watch the show, he's very OCD. And like I think he even got, and he would get like that in wrestling matches, especially if he wasn't working with someone that was better than him, like a Shawn or a Triple H or something like that. So when he was working with me, it's kind of like, you know, yeah, I could have a great match with Shawn, because Shawn was one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, and he could work with anybody. But like with Cena, like, yeah, he had a little more experience than me, but not much. And yeah, he was over as hell, but his overness wasn't a reflection of where he was at in the artistry of professional wrestling yet.
Sure.
So
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, I don't want to say it was the blind leading the blind, but it was just like, you know, there was no Shawn Michaels in there to kind of, you know, help things out when need be. And then with John Cena being that OCD,
Right.
you know.
But what's so amazing, right? It's great that you say this, but it's like Shawn Michaels, who had this huge reputation of being probably one of the biggest pricks in the industry and would hold people down. You saw a different side of Shawn Michaels. You saw the changed Shawn Michaels then.
Oh yeah, and thank God, because it would be so disappointing, you know, because, you know, you always hear the saying about you don't want to meet your idols and stuff. You know, I don't know what it would have been like to meet the first Shawn, and I can't even wrap my head around that, because that was the one, you know, I grew up idolizing that.
Right,
that
right.
guy.
Right.
But I am happy that I was able to, the work experience I had with him was like so pleasant, man. Like it was just, but I kind of threw it out there right from the get-go. Like I let him know pretty early on that he was my guy, and you know, I think I recited some of his promos on him and stuff like that. And it was more just because I just wanted him to know, hey, if I say anything stupid, that might be, you know, because when you're young at that age, there were a lot of little things. There's an etiquette, and there's a lot of little things that can get you heat, especially when you look the way I did, and you're getting a push. And so, like, I would constantly find myself like stepping in my own shit, like saying stuff that, you know, wasn't even that bad, but like, you know, it rubs somebody the wrong way and gets you heat. So I was just like, I just wanted to make sure with him, like, hey, you know, I didn't say literally this, but it was me kind of establishing, like, I have the utmost respect for you. So if I do or say anything stupid, just know it's not, you know, you are my guy. You know, please just, you know what I mean? Just know that going into this. But like, we never had any issues, man. It was like so much fun. Like, I can't even tell you the different little challenges that I ended up having to go through working him, because we worked all over the world, and there were always like various, like I remember there was one match where they kind of challenged me, him and Nate, to not bump him, not even one time in the whole match. Oh, and this was funny. I remember walking into the locker room one time, and Shawn and Nate are dressing, and I walk into the locker room. I'm like, so we got a bump in HBK or non-bump in HBK tonight? And Ric Flair just couldn't believe it. Like he was like, he was like dying laughing, but like it was just more like how, like, because I'd work with both of them, but I don't think he hadn't heard some of the one-on-one conversations I had with Shawn. So it was one of those things like, you know, this freaking kid is talking to you like that. What the heck? You know, he couldn't, and he made such a big deal about it. But little things like that. And then I remember one time Shawn's brace we were in Ireland, and his brace broke, his knee brace. So we had to work a match in Dublin, Ireland, where we didn't run him at all. And like the only time we ran him is that one little sequence for the flipper, you know, the reverse. And then, you know, another thing was just, you know, it got to the point pretty early on where Shawn just let me kind of be the quarterback of the match and call the whole match, which was crazy. I mean, you know, like I couldn't even really, it was hard to call the match without phrasing it every kind of thing I'd call it in the form of a question because of who he was.
Right.
But like, man, you know, so I mean, you couldn't ask, if you were to work with your childhood hero, you couldn't ask for a better work experience.